Welcome back, everybody. As they say in the kitchen remodel business, making dreams come true, one nightmare at a time. This week, we're going to look at simple cabinet construction. Let's get to it. Alrighty, guys. What's up next is we got a 36-inch sink base and a 9-inch cabinet here that you fit your trays and stuff in. And then we got a 15-inch trash can pull out, drawer bases, another quarter cabinet, and then regular cabinet here, base 24. Alright, so the first thing we got to do is we got to cut our sides to dimension, okay? So in my case, since I have a 4-inch base already installed, the next thing I'll do is I will cut my cabinet sides at 30 and a half. Alright, so that gives me 34.5-inch base cabinets. Alright, so we're going to do that, and then since I've got a 3/4-inch face frame, the next part of that is going to be 23.25. So I'm going to slice those up, and then we'll move on to figuring out the width. And I'm going to go ahead and cut pretty much all the stock I've got here, which will take care of most of my base cabinets. That way they're all the same size. Alright, one tip I'll give you too that I like to do, since I'm using this premium made from the China company, pre-finished, is I will cross cut it first in case you get any chip out going this direction. Then I'll cut it lengthwise, and then I'm going to go ahead too and we'll set up and run our dados in the back for it. Alright, let's do it. Is set up for my dado, and I like to run mine in about a 1/2 inch. I like to leave about a 1/4 of an inch of my material left here, and then I set this just so it fits the plywood, and I like to kind of bring it in just about a 64th or a 32nd of an inch inside this. That way I don't have my plywood sticking out past this point. It's just I don't know, that's the way I like to do it. Then if you need to trim any off the back of it when you're installing anything, you can do that. But anyway, so that's what I set up. So yeah, it just sets in just a tiny bit. And what I really like is I use these fast cap mag shims, and they're great. They work really well. I keep a set of them at my router table, at my table saw, and at my drill press. They work really well. Alright, so let's run these, and then we'll be ready to get the interior stuff together. And we're ready to go. What we want to do is we want to measure the inside from the back side of where our 1/2 inch plywood will go to the inside of the cabinet. In this case, I'm at 22 3/4. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go rip some panels. I'm going to over rip it. So basically I'm at 22 3/4, so I'm probably going to rip this thing at 23 or 23 1/4, alright, with my track saw. And then I'm going to come back. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rough out my dimensions So if I got a 36-inch cabinet, I know that I've got to have 36 minus a quarter minus an inch and 3/8. All right, to get my inside dimension. And I'm going to show you that over here in just a second. All right, so I made a mistake. So if you hear me rattling off some crazy numbers, what I really have is for our interior dimension, we have 36 inches minus a half for the face frames, a quarter on each side. It gives us 35.5, and then subtract 1 3/8, so that's 34 1/8. So instead of 1 5/8 of an inch, it should be 1 3/4 that you'll take off your interior dimension. Alright, so now that we've got our bottoms cut, the next thing we need to do is go ahead and make a provision for our pocket hole screws, and also I'm going to use a couple of dominoes. You can use biscuits. You don't even have to use them. I just use them because when you build cabinets like these, you need to make sure that they're completely flush on the bottom. That's the one kind of caveat. But if you don't have a biscuit joiner, you can take your cabinet side, stick it up here, and then just run screws in the bottom of it. It'll be plenty strong. It's not any different than pocket screws. And you're not going to see any of these on either side, so it's just not going to be an issue. But that's another way to do it. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. So next week we'll finish up the cabinet construction, and then we're going to show you how to build a Lazy Susan and a Lazy Susan cabinet. So we'll catch you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe.